I'm Dave Salo here at the Irvine Nova Aquatics, where I'm the head coach general manager since 1990, previous and retired head coach from the University of Southern California. Some of my athletes that I've coached over the years include Rebecca Soni in the 200 breast in 2012, first woman to go under 220 in the 200 meter breaststroke to win a gold medal. Unlike most people's perception of me, I'm not just a sprint coach. I coached Os Maluli to gold medals in the 1500 meter freestyle and the 10K and back-to-back Olympic Games. Been noted as a breaststroke coach. Have had the opportunity to coach athletes such as Rebecca Soni, Jessica Hardy, Staciana Stitz, Kosuke Kitajima, Eric Chanteau, and a plethora of others. So I'm sometimes noted as a breaststroke coach as well. And I'm in semi-retirement, but still very curious about performance. So still trying to figure out how to get people to go fast.
I'm here today at the Woolwich Aquatic Centre with one of the most legendary sprint coaches of all time, Dave Salo, author of Sprint Salo and coach of many Olympic champions over the years. We're going to take a look at one of the practices he does on a Friday morning with his Nova Aquatics swim squad. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out my website. I sell merch, I sell training programs, I sell awesome stuff. So www.TheSwimsuitGuy.co.uk. Enjoy this video. I'm going to let Dave Salo talk a little bit more about some of his coaching methodologies.
Those that know my background in swimming, I'm academically trained versus experientially. I was a swimmer, swam for a number of years. I swam through college with John Urbanchek at Long Beach State. But it was my professors that I studied with for my master's and PhD that challenged my way of thinking about training. So my methodology is race-paced training. It's not USRPT, although I don't disagree with USRPT, but most of our work is at race pace or faster. What I do is I construct a workout that's very progressive, that we're trying to maximize the power per stroke. So a lot of the early part of my workouts are geared towards maximizing that power one stroke at a time. And then as we get through a workout, we start to increase that from 1 or 2 strokes to 5 strokes to a whole length, all the way up through, let's say, a 50 or longer. I'm a big believer in resistance type work associated with my training. So the set here on Fridays, we incorporate dryland stretch cords. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll use wet cords and parachutes for resistance training. I'm a big detail nut. So everything I have is detail oriented, and I expect the details to done at the maximum capacity, done correctly. So we started out as kind of warm up, is more kicking in the very first part. I had them use fins. It's a little bit longer. I don't call it aerobic swimming. It's just, that's what we're doing, a little bit longer, focusing on things like posture and elements of speed throughout. So on the 125 in this first set, it's fast the last 10 of each 25. It's a habit that we're trying to form as well, that as you're approaching the walls, you want to be going into the walls with good speed, with good kick, good posture. So as I go through sets like this, there's a lot of elements that I think a lot of coaches neglect to take into play, like posture and speed into the walls and posture coming off the walls, reducing resistance, reducing drag, and maximizing the capacity to do the swim. So that we start out with kind of some kicking, did some underwater work as well, and then we go into a paddles and fins set where we're trying to really focus again on one stroke at a time. On the 75 here, it's knuckle paddle, so you're grabbing the paddle kind of with your knuckles, and that moves the pressure point back into the arm a little bit, trying to force the elbows to stay up in position a little bit more. And we're only focusing on 3 fast strokes per 25. And then we're going into a 50 with regular paddles, and I like to contrast the difference between a knuckle paddle, regular paddle, and you're trying to feel that difference. so that you go from knuckle paddle, now you open it up to full paddle. Now we're still only focusing on the first 4 strokes coming off the wall. As they're coming off the wall, there's a lot of focus on posture coming off the wall, coming off with speed, and it's really kind of a passive speed because once the legs leave the wall, it's all passive activity, but you got to maximize that speed by minimizing the drag and then going into those 4 strokes. And I talk about surging all the time with the kids, that I want them to feel the surge of their speed. Their bodies should surge with a stroke. So when you're doing minimal stroke count, like 3 strokes or 4 strokes, you should feel that change in speed, and then you settle down into a slower speed or less effort and just really focusing on their 3 or 4 strokes. And then going in the 25s here on this particular set, it's full speed, and I want them to pick a spot to breathe. And I think it's important to teach sprinters to pick their spot. If they're not going to hold their breath for a whole 50, then they should learn to pick a spot and take that spot as their breathing point rather than just random breathing. So there's some control in this element where they got to go fast, only take one, they have to take 1 breath and take the same spot for that breath. You push off on your back, glide to line 4. Line 4. Push and glide to line 4 on the surface. Then you go into scrunch skull to the wall, reverse turn, push off, 3 underwater pull down, so the fast flutter kick, break out into a flip turn, 360. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Into Superman kick. At the flags, you stop, lower your head, 3 count, then fast swim into the wall. Everybody got it? As we go through the end of the workout, here's where the dry cords come into play, and I'm focusing again on creating resistance that's specific to swimming, where we go butterfly poles, keep the elbows out. The path of the hands is inside the path of the elbows. It's the full range. It's maintaining tempo that's equivalent to race tempo. And then we go into immediately after 20 butterfly reps, we're going into 10, really, we call them tricep burns, so just really feel that burn. I want them to be a little fatigued before they go into the swimming part, which is a little bit later. 5 push-ups where we're just doing body strength, working on posture, backs flat, and working on that power development. And then we give them it's on a 1-minute interval, so they're getting about 30-40 seconds of rest before we do a dive from the edge. And the first part of the dive to the edge is dive, be really fast to the 4th black line. Then they start the kick to line 5, so it's all posture, it's all that passive glide. They need to feel how they can maintain their speed without doing anything, without a kick, without a pull. We're trying to really extend that part out of it. And then they go into the swim part, and then that's maximum effort through the swim. So they're coming off the cords, they're with resistance, they're a little bit fatigued, they're a little bit tired. That's what it feels like at the end of a race. We want them to encounter that mentally and physically so they can get past that discomfort that accompanies the combination of cord work into the water work. And then they loosen down, we call it a day, and that's pretty traditional, standard operating procedure for my workouts day to day.
Love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. If you want to support me any further so I can go to more programs like I did in this video, but also with my Cal Berkeley video and in the Hong Kong video, then do consider heading to my website www.theswimsuitguy.co.uk, where I offer a range of products from merch such as swimming caps and t-shirts like the one I'm wearing now, but also a range of products such as a 12-week 100 race pace program for both coaches and master swimmers, and also things like a warm-up protocol and a taper guide that you can purchase right away and get delivered straight to your email inbox. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.